If you've ever felt like no matter how much you learn, work, or manifest, your financial life keeps circling the same mountain, you're not alone. Most people don't fail because they lack discipline. They fail because they're trapped in energetic repetition. The real reason your income doesn't rise isn't strategy, it's frequency. And today, in Stop Repeating the Same Financial Patterns, learn to quantum shift your income. We're going to expose the invisible mechanism that's been looping your reality like a broken record. Here's the paradox. You might be doing everything right, journaling, visualizing, investing, working harder, yet the numbers never reflect your effort. That's because energy doesn't care about logic. It only mirrors vibration. You can't build prosperity from the same frequency that created struggle. To break the cycle, you must stop chasing money and start tuning to it. This is where the quantum shift income begins. Not with more action, but with energetic coherence. I'm not here to sell you a fantasy. I'm here to show you what most money gurus won't, that true wealth begins when you understand energy frequency money and how to consciously realign it. Because the difference between struggle and flow isn't luck, it's vibration. Once you master your field, you'll see that abundance was never outside of you. It was always waiting for permission to expand from within. So if you've ever felt frustrated by repeating the same results, stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why you've been stuck and how to reprogram your field to manifest abundance with precision. But before we dive in, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join a community that's learning how to transform spiritual finance into practical reality. Because once you shift your frequency, your entire life, not just your bank account, begins to change. Most people think their money story is about luck, timing, or effort, but it's not. There's a hidden rhythm behind every paycheck, every unexpected bill, every raise that slips away. That rhythm isn't written in numbers, it's written in energy. You can meditate, repeat affirmations, or even read every book on spiritual finance, and still feel like your quantum shift income never quite locks in. Why? Because what you're repeating isn't your actions, it's your energetic signature. Until that frequency changes, the same movie keeps looping with different actors. Every money mindset shift begins when you realize that the problem isn't you, it's the subconscious pattern that runs you. Think about how some people always find themselves at zero no matter how much they earn. They upgrade jobs, relationships, even homes. But inside, they still vibrate at the same abundance vibration. It's like trying to play a new song with an old instrument. The melody changes, but the sound stays off key. The pattern is invisible, but its echo shapes your entire financial landscape. A mentor once said, "Your bank account is your subconscious printed in numbers," and he was right. Behind every financial ceiling lies a belief, one you didn't choose. Maybe it came from a parent who said, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or from a time you felt unsafe having too much. Those subconscious money blocks act like energetic passwords until you rewrite them. You can't access higher levels of spiritual prosperity. This is why most manifestation attempts fail. People try to change outcomes without upgrading the frequency that creates them. If you've ever wondered why affirmations like, "I am wealthy," sometimes feel fake, it's because your wealth energy alignment hasn't caught up. The words speak abundance, but your body still holds scarcity. Energy doesn't respond to words, it responds to coherence. That's why two people can follow the same course, yet one experiences quantum manifestation and the other stays stuck. It's not what they do, it's who they are energetically while doing it. The universe reads vibration, not vocabulary. Let's make this practical. Think of money like a mirror. It doesn't reflect what you wish to see, it reflects who you believe you are. If your identity whispers, "I struggle to keep money," the mirror has no choice but to echo that belief. To shift it, you must change what the mirror reflects, your frequency. Start by observing your reactions when you receive or lose money. Do you feel panic, guilt, or resistance? That's your energy revealing itself, the energy frequency money you broadcast daily. A simple experiment. For 1 week, track every emotion tied to financial movement, gain or loss. Don't judge it, just notice the pattern. You might see that scarcity isn't about not having enough. It's about not feeling safe when you do. That awareness begins to dissolve the loop. The quantum shift income happens not through sudden miracles, but through conscious alignment. When you bring light to what was unconscious, energy reorganizes naturally. Money starts moving differently because you do. And yet, here's the twist. Knowing this secret isn't enough. Most people discover it, nod their heads, and then go right back to autopilot. Because awareness without transformation is just observation. The real power begins when you learn how to rewire these energetic codes from the inside out, something we'll explore next, as we uncover why almost everyone's been manifesting money the wrong way all along. Most people think manifesting abundance is about wanting something hard enough until it shows up. They visualize, repeat mantras, maybe even write checks to themselves from the bank of the universe, and yet nothing happens. The truth, desire without alignment is just noise in the energetic field. You can't outthink a vibration you haven't shifted. The universe doesn't respond to words, it responds to frequency. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. That's the uncomfortable truth behind every failed quantum manifestation attempt. It's not that people lack discipline or effort, they lack resonance. Imagine tuning a radio. If you're on 88.5 but wealth is broadcasting at 101.3, you can chant affirmations all day and still hear static. The shift isn't about volume, it's about tuning. That's where spiritual finance enters the picture, understanding that your financial experience mirrors your energetic calibration. Until your inner frequency matches prosperity, your external reality can't hold it. That's why some win the lottery and lose it all. They return to their default vibration. Many believe that taking action alone is enough. They hustle, grind, and fill vision boards with goals. But the irony is that effort, when rooted in fear or lack, amplifies scarcity. You're telling the universe, I don't trust you, so I'll force it myself. True wealth energy alignment happens when your actions flow from certainty, not desperation. It's when you move with the calm authority of someone who knows they're supported. That's the real strategy behind every lasting quantum shift income. Not effort, but energetic congruence. Let's make it relatable. Picture two people launching the same business. One acts from excitement and service, the other from panic and survival. Same idea, same audience, same tools, yet one thrives while the other struggles. The reason? Frequency. The first is manifesting abundance through trust and expansion. The second, through fear and contraction. The universe simply amplifies the stronger signal. You can't fake frequency. It's why smiling through anxiety doesn't magnetize wealth. Energy reads truth, not pretending. So what's the correction? Stop chasing money and start embodying the vibration that attracts it. Instead of asking, how do I make more? Ask, how can I become the person who naturally holds more? That's the essence of money mindset shift. You don't create prosperity, you align with it. Start small. Each time you spend, say internally, there's always more where that came from. It's not denial. It's rewiring your nervous system to recognize abundance as the default, not the exception. When this shift begins, you'll notice subtle synchronicities, your opportunities appearing where there were none, payments arriving out of nowhere, people offering help unexpectedly. These aren't coincidences. They're reflections of a new abundance vibration. As your field reorganizes, the physical world must follow. Money isn't logical, it's magnetic. The better you feel in the frequency of wealth, the more wealth feels drawn to you. That's the hidden mechanism behind energy frequency money. Still, here's the catch. Once this awareness sets in, the mind will fight back. It'll whisper, this can't be that easy, or you're fooling yourself. Those are old subconscious money blocks trying to pull you back to familiar scarcity. But there's a deeper layer, one most people never explore, where income isn't controlled by strategy or effort, but by energy itself. And understanding that layer is the key to unlocking everything we call luck. That's where we're heading next, as we uncover the quantum energy behind income. People have been trained to think in terms of strategy, budget, invest, save, repeat. Yet strategy without energy is like trying to light a candle underwater. What truly determines income isn't the steps you take, but the frequency you emit while taking them. Every thought, every decision, every emotion carries a vibration that either opens or closes the energetic channels of prosperity. The real secret to spiritual finance isn't found in a spreadsheet. It's encoded in your energy field. When someone embodies scarcity, they could follow the best business plan in the world and still sabotage it. Not because the plan is bad, but because the energy frequency money behind it is rooted in fear. Think of it as an invisible current. If your frequency vibrates low, opportunities pass right through you, unseen. That's why the same tactic that multiplies one person's wealth leaves another stuck. The difference isn't skill, it's wealth-energy alignment. Energy precedes economics. Let's look at this through quantum mechanics. In the quantum field, everything exists as potential until observation collapses it into form. Money is no different. Your beliefs and emotions act as observers, shaping how financial energy takes form in your life. When you align with the vibration of abundance, you literally select a different version of reality, one where income flows instead of resists. That's quantum manifestation in motion, tuning into the version of you who already has what you're asking for. Here's a simple analogy. Imagine money as water, and you as the vessel. If your container is cracked with doubt, guilt, or fear, abundance leaks out before you can hold it. Repairing the vessel means healing the subconscious money blocks that distort your frequency. This is the foundation of a true money mindset shift. It's not about forcing income. It's about preparing your field to receive it. When your energy is whole, prosperity fills every available space, effortlessly. You can test this yourself. Try entering a negotiation, interview, or sales call after spending 5 minutes in deep gratitude and calm breathing. Notice how people respond differently. That's because abundance vibration is palpable. It changes how others feel around you. People sense safety, trust, and inspiration. When your energy radiates certainty, that energetic signature is what opens doors, not mere words. The body becomes the transmitter, and money becomes the echo. This doesn't mean strategy is useless. It just means it's secondary. Strategy refines results. Energy creates them. You can't amplify what doesn't yet exist. Focus on building the inner coherence first. That's where spiritual prosperity takes root. Once your vibration is aligned, even the simplest strategy works like magic, because the field is now cooperating with you. That's the true engine of a quantum shift income, a state where reality bends to your energetic command. But here's where most people stumble. They understand this concept intellectually but not energetically. They nod, they agree, yet still operate from worry and control. To truly embody this shift, you must go deeper into what keeps your income frozen. Not in the outer world, but in the unseen layers of your field. Because if energy rules income, then it's time to ask, what happens when invisible blocks quietly throttle your flow? Ever wondered why your income sometimes plateaus, even when you're doing everything right? You study more, work harder, visualize more intensely, yet nothing moves. That's not laziness or bad luck. It's resonance. Beneath every stagnant bank balance lies an invisible barrier, a tangle of old energy frequencies, identities, and fears stored deep within your subconscious. These aren't random. They're the subconscious money blocks that form your unseen financial ceiling. And until they're cleared, no quantum shift income can truly hold. These blocks don't shout, they whisper. They disguise themselves as logic. I should be more responsible. I don't deserve too much. Or money changes people. They're echoes of old conditioning that once kept you safe but now keep you small. You can't outwork an energetic pattern that's coded to resist growth. The irony, the harder you push against it, the more it tightens, because your body interprets that effort as stress, and stress lowers your abundance vibration. You can't attract abundance from contraction. Let's be real, most of these programs aren't even yours. They were inherited. Generations of ancestors carried trauma around survival, scarcity, and guilt tied to wealth. Their fears became frequencies that now live inside your field. Breaking free isn't just about personal change. It's about energetic liberation. When you heal your relationship with energy frequency money, you're not only creating wealth for yourself, you're rewriting your entire lineage's spiritual finance story. Here's a simple test. Notice how you feel when money enters your life unexpectedly. Do you feel gratitude or discomfort? Do you trust it to stay, or do you brace for it to disappear? That emotion is a compass. It reveals whether your frequency is aligned or resistant. Most people crave expansion while their nervous system clings to safety, and safety often hides behind scarcity because scarcity is familiar. That's why money mindset shift isn't just mental, it's somatic. it happens in your body first. One powerful exercise is to sit quietly and visualize your current financial energy as a shape or color. Don't judge it. Just observe. Is it heavy, faded, chaotic? Then imagine gently expanding that energy with each breath, as if your field were being rewired in light. This isn't imagination, it's quantum manifestation in its raw form. You're literally retraining your cells to hold a higher vibration. When your body learns to feel safe with more, the universe mirrors that safety back through increased flow. Here's what often shocks people. The block isn't always about money itself. Sometimes, it's tied to unworthiness, shame, or even fear of visibility. More wealth means being seen, and being seen can trigger wounds of rejection. That's why wealth energy alignment isn't just about attracting income. It's about expanding your capacity to receive it without guilt. Until you heal the fear of standing out, abundance will feel threatening, and your subconscious will quietly shut it down. But there's a way out, a way to dissolve those invisible patterns and rewrite the energetic story beneath your life. Because when you learn to collapse the timeline that keeps repeating your past into your present, something extraordinary happens. Reality bends toward your new vibration. That's the power we're about to unlock next. How to collapse timelines into your wealth reality and step into the version of you where money flows effortlessly. In the quantum field, all versions of you already exist, the one struggling with bills and the one living in overflow. Quantum manifestation isn't about creating something new, it's about shifting awareness to the version that already holds it. That's what it means to collapse timelines. You stop walking toward abundance and start remembering you're already standing in it. The process doesn't require force, it requires alignment. You're not chasing a new reality, you're tuning into it through abundance vibration. Imagine two radio stations playing side by side. One broadcasts fear, the other wealth. Most people keep trying to fix the static on the scarcity channel instead of switching frequencies. When you practice manifesting abundance consciously, you're learning to change stations. The shift doesn't happen outside you, it happens within your energy field. That's the moment your wealth energy alignment locks in, and suddenly, opportunities that felt invisible begin to appear like constellations lighting up your path. Here's the paradox. To collapse timelines, you must release control. The ego wants proof. The soul requires trust. Every time you say, "I'll believe it when I see it," you anchor yourself in lack. But when you say, "I'll see it when I believe it," you open the door to spiritual prosperity. This reversal of logic is the essence of spiritual finance. You stop managing money through fear and begin co-creating it through energy. Reality then reorganizes to match your certainty, not your effort. Let's make this tangible. Try visualizing your higher self reality for 5 minutes each morning, not as a dream but as memory. Feel the comfort of bills paid, the ease of generosity, the gratitude of overflow. Let your nervous system memorize that sensation. The mind can't distinguish between imagination and lived experience, and energy follows emotion. This practice rewires your subconscious money blocks faster than years of strategy because it makes abundance feel normal, not distant. Another technique is what I call frequency substitution. Each time you feel worry about money, pause and replace that emotion with curiosity. Ask, what if abundance is already arriving, and this moment is just the stretch before it lands? That single question interrupts the loop of scarcity and creates a gap for energy frequency money to flow in. You're literally bending probability by shifting your internal dialogue. This is quantum shift income in motion. Subtle but measurable. Here's the beauty of it. Collapsing timelines doesn't require perfect thoughts or monk-like focus. It requires awareness and repetition. The more you align with gratitude, the less resistance the universe encounters when responding to you. Over time, you'll notice how coincidences multiply. Someone cancels a debt, an opportunity appears, or money arrives from unexpected sources. That's not random luck, it's resonance. You've tuned into the field where wealth already exists. Yet, here's what most miss. Collapsing timelines is only half the equation. You can reach a higher frequency, but if your subconscious is still coded for poverty, you'll unconsciously recreate lack even in abundance. To make the shift permanent, you must recondition the mind that built the old timeline. And that's where we go next. From subconscious poverty to quantum prosperity, where wealth stops being a goal and becomes a natural state of being. Poverty doesn't begin in your wallet. It begins in your subconscious. You can earn six figures and still vibrate lack if your energy is programmed for scarcity. That's the trap most people never see. They chase external upgrades while their internal operating system remains outdated. Quantum prosperity isn't about earning more. It's about becoming more. It's a money mindset shift from survival to creation, from chasing outcomes to commanding frequency. The outer world always mirrors the inner one. The subconscious mind is a powerful servant but a terrible master. It records every emotional imprint you've ever felt around money, fear, guilt, envy, or pride, and then replays it automatically. Those memories become energetic blueprints that define your energy frequency money. So if your childhood was filled with scarcity, your nervous system now treats wealth as danger. That's why affirmations often fail. They're spoken in English, but your subconscious only understands vibration. The first step to reprogramming this is awareness. Notice your inner dialogue whenever you think about wealth. Do you say, "I can't afford this," or "That's too expensive"? Those phrases reinforce energetic contracts of limitation. Replace them with questions like, "How can I make this possible?" or "What would abundance do in this moment?" These shifts rewire the field through micro moments of empowerment. Bit by bit, manifesting abundance becomes less about effort and more about alignment. Then comes embodiment. You can't think your way into prosperity. You must feel your way there. Practice gratitude daily, but not as a checklist. Feel it until your body vibrates relief and expansion. That emotional coherence strengthens your abundance vibration. It signals to the universe that you're safe to receive. When the body and soul agree, the field obeys. That's how quantum manifestation transforms from concept into consistent flow. For a practical tool, try the wealth rehearsal technique. Each night, visualize yourself going through daily life as your abundant self, paying bills joyfully, tipping generously, walking with confidence. Let your body memorize that rhythm. This exercise trains your system to embody wealth energy alignment. Within weeks, you'll notice decisions shift. You'll choose differently, speak differently, and attract differently. Prosperity begins to feel familiar, not foreign. Remember, spiritual finance is less about managing money and more about mastering energy. When your vibration rises, your external opportunities must match it. They're reflections, not rewards. Every time you catch an old scarcity thought and replace it with gratitude, you collapse a piece of subconscious poverty. You begin operating as someone who expects good, not someone surprised by it. That's when spiritual prosperity stops being a goal and starts being your baseline. And yet the journey doesn't end there, because even when you begin to live from this higher frequency, there's a deeper evolution, one that demands identity transformation. The question shifts from "How do I make more?" to "Who must I become to hold more?" And that's where we go next, to the truth that being always precedes having, and identity is the bridge to effortless income. Most people focus on changing their circumstances, not their identity. But wealth doesn't respond to effort, it responds to embodiment. You can't sustain spiritual prosperity with the mindset that created struggle. True prosperity begins when you stop asking, "What do I need to do?" and start asking, "Who am I being?" Because your energetic identity, not your actions, determines the limit of your quantum shift income. The universe mirrors back the version of you that feels most real, not the one you pretend to be. Think of identity as a frequency setting. If you still identify as someone who works hard to make ends meet, that vibration overrides any affirmation of ease. You can't program abundance into a self-image built on survival. The shift happens when you embody the version of yourself who already owns the vibration of wealth. This isn't fantasy, it's alignment. You start acting, thinking, and feeling like that person before the evidence arrives. That's how quantum manifestation truly takes form. A mentor once said, "Money flows to those who no longer need it to feel powerful." And that's the secret. The more you chase validation through wealth, the more you reinforce lack. But when you release the need to prove anything, money becomes magnetized to your calm confidence. That is wealth energy alignment, the merging of certainty and surrender. When your worth no longer depends on your income begins to expand naturally. It's not logic, it's energetic law. Let's make this tangible. Start practicing micro-embodiments of your wealthy self daily. How would they speak? What would they wear? How would they make decisions? Maybe they tip a little more generously or stop apologizing for wanting more. Each of these actions reinforces your new abundance vibration. They signal to the subconscious that the upgrade is already in progress. And since your subconscious runs 95% of your behavior, these subtle shifts rewire your financial destiny over time. Another key aspect is self-concept maintenance. Even after a breakthrough, the old identity will try to pull you back. The voice that says, "Be realistic," or "You've gone too far." That's just a residual echo from your subconscious money blocks. Treat it with compassion, not resistance. Gently remind yourself that expansion feels unfamiliar because it's new, not wrong. This keeps your nervous system anchored in safety, while your energy frequency money recalibrates upward. Here's something most never realize. Identity creates strategy. Once you embody abundance, your ideas, connections, and timing align effortlessly. You don't force opportunities, they start finding you. That's not magic. That's spiritual finance working as designed. Your field broadcasts readiness, and the quantum field responds with precision. When you live as the person who already has, life organizes itself to prove you right. Action then becomes joyful expression, not desperate survival. Still, even as your new self emerges, you must learn how to anchor this identity, to keep it stable when life tests you, because frequency without grounding fades. That's where most people lose momentum. They shift, then slip back into scarcity, but the next step will change that. Learning how to lock your new vibration into reality through daily energetic anchors that make abundance permanent. Shifting your vibration is powerful, but holding it, that's mastery. Many people experience a surge of abundance vibration during meditation or inspiration, only to slip back into doubt days later. That's because they never built anchors. Energy anchors are the rituals, habits, and sensory cues that keep your frequency grounded in your chosen reality. They bridge the gap between quantum manifestation and consistency. Without anchors, your field drifts. With them, it stabilizes in spiritual prosperity. Think of anchors as energetic bookmarks, reminders that pull you back to your highest frequency no matter what's happening externally. For some, it's breathwork or a morning gratitude ritual. For others, it's a money mantra whispered each time they spend. A simple example, say, "I circulate wealth, not lose it," whenever you pay a bill. That phrase reinforces your money mindset shift, telling your subconscious that money isn't leaving, it's flowing. Language programs energy. Repetition reinforces reality. You can also use physical anchors. Wear a specific bracelet, ring, or pendant that symbolizes abundance. Each time you touch it, breathe deeply and recall the sensation of overflow. This connects the emotion of wealth to your body, literally wiring energy frequency money into your nervous system. The subconscious learns best through association, not logic. Over time, the gesture alone becomes a trigger for wealth energy alignment, resetting your vibration even in stressful moments. Music is another potent anchor. Create a playlist that embodies the feeling of abundance. Songs that make you feel powerful, grateful, and grounded. Play it while working, walking, or even cooking. Sound bypasses the intellect and speaks directly to vibration. It trains your body to remember wealth as a frequency, not a number. When manifesting abundance feels effortless, it's often because the person has built emotional familiarity with it through rhythm and repetition. Meditation, too, becomes an anchor when practiced consistently. Visualize golden light flooding your body, expanding your energy field, cleansing subconscious money blocks, and stabilizing your frequency. Imagine that light linking your mind to the field of spiritual finance, where energy and material wealth meet. Stay in that feeling until your breath slows and your chest opens. You'll notice decisions become clearer, anxiety fades, and opportunities align faster. That's your field recalibrating in real time. Another overlooked anchor is generosity. When you give freely without fear or expectation, you tell the universe, "I trust the flow." This act harmonizes spiritual prosperity with energy frequency money, completing the circuit of abundance. You shift from holding to circulating, from fear to faith. That flow signals to the quantum field that you're ready to receive more, not from lack, but from wholeness. Generosity grounds wealth in gratitude, the most magnetic energy there is. But even with all these anchors, the truth is that sustaining this vibration requires awareness, because sometimes the pull of old scarcity timelines still whispers in the background, trying to drag you back. And that's exactly what we'll face next. The hidden tendency most people overlook, the unconscious drift back to scarcity, and how to stop it before it rewrites everything you've built. It happens silently. You raise your abundance vibration, you feel unstoppable, and then something pulls you back. An unexpected bill, a dip in motivation, an argument, and suddenly you're back in old energy. That's not failure, that's familiarity. The subconscious always returns to what feels safe, not what feels successful. And for most people, scarcity feels like home. This is the hidden loop that keeps millions from sustaining quantum shift income. They don't realize they're addicted to struggle's frequency. The mind has patterns like gravity. It keeps pulling you toward your emotional baseline. When your baseline is fear or lack, abundance feels unstable. So even after a powerful quantum manifestation, your energy field begins to recalibrate, not to success, but to the old identity. It's not sabotage, it's self-protection. The nervous system interprets expansion as danger. That's why true wealth energy alignment isn't about rising higher. It's about making abundance feel safe enough to stay. You've probably experienced this cycle. You get a raise or a sudden inflow of cash, and within weeks it's gone. You didn't waste it consciously. Your subconscious just found ways to return to balance. It might show up as impulse spending, procrastination, or guilt. Those are classic subconscious money blocks in action. They whisper, "This is too much, too soon." The key is not punishment, but awareness. Once you name the pattern, it loses half its power. You can't fix what you don't see. One way to stabilize is through emotional regulation. When abundance arrives, breathe. Let the body process safety. Remind yourself, it's okay to have more. This small phrase bridges the gap between fear and flow. It allows the nervous system to integrate the new vibration instead of rejecting it. That's where spiritual finance becomes practical, regulating emotion before managing money. Emotional safety is the container for prosperity to expand without collapse. Another powerful tool is routine gratitude. But here's the secret. Don't use gratitude only when things are good. Use it especially when fear appears. Gratitude in moments of lack reprograms energy, frequency, money at its root. It tells the universe, I trust the process. Over time, this builds an energetic baseline of certainty. You stop reacting to fluctuations and start anchoring stability. That's the internal architecture of spiritual prosperity. Calm, consistent, unshakable. You can also track your thoughts during transitions. When you notice phrases like, "This won't last," or "I shouldn't expect too much," stop and breathe. Write them down, then rewrite them consciously. Abundance sustains me easily. This rewiring turns reaction into creation. You move from survival language to creator language, the foundation of every money mindset shift. You begin training the mind to speak the dialect of expansion, not contraction. Still, knowing how to stop the drift isn't the end. Stability must be practiced, just like frequency. Once you've caught the drift and re-anchored your field, it's time to integrate everything. To live abundance as a daily rhythm, not a temporary high. That's where we go next. The Quantum Shift Roadmap, a 15-day guide to transforming insight into income and grounding this vibration into a permanent reality. Transformation doesn't need to take years, only intention, focus, and alignment. The Quantum Shift Roadmap is not about doing more, but becoming more coherent with abundance. For 15 days, you'll retrain your energy to match the frequency of wealth, dissolving resistance and amplifying flow. This isn't a quick fix challenge, it's a calibration. Each day builds on the last, embedding wealth energy alignment into your subconscious until prosperity feels natural, not forced. Days 1 to 3, awareness and reset. Start by observing your thoughts and emotions around money. Journal every time scarcity shows up. Guilt when spending, anxiety when earning, hesitation when receiving. Don't fix it yet, just witness it. This step surfaces the subconscious money blocks that have been running the show. Awareness dissolves half their power. Combine this with grounding meditation to center your energy frequency money before acting each day. You're setting the foundation for real quantum manifestation. Days 4 to 6, identity activation. Now that you've seen the patterns, start living as the version of yourself who already has the life you desire. Walk, dress, speak, and decide as that person. This isn't pretending, it's energetic rehearsal. The subconscious learns through repetition and sensory feedback. With each action, you're performing a money mindset shift, rewriting your field to embody manifesting abundance. You'll notice small synchronicities appearing, their confirmation, not coincidence. Days 7 to 9. Emotional reprogramming. These days are about anchoring safety and expansion. Each morning, place your hand on your heart and say, "It's safe for me to have more." This simple phrase calms the nervous system, allowing abundance to integrate. During the day when fear arises, practice gratitude, not as denial but as redirection. Gratitude stabilizes abundance vibration and turns anxiety into trust. You're teaching your body that wealth is not a threat, but a natural state. Days 10 to 12, energetic anchoring. Now that your frequency is rising, it's time to lock it in. Use physical anchors, jewelry, scents, music, or affirmations to reconnect instantly to your abundant self. Each anchor links emotion to embodiment, reinforcing spiritual finance as a lived experience. When your vibration dips, these cues realign your field without effort. The more you use them, the faster your quantum shift income stabilizes into a new baseline. Days 13-15, expansion and flow. By now, your field is attuned. These final days are about sustaining and amplifying it. Actively circulate money, donate, invest, gift, from joy, not obligation. This creates a continuous energetic loop with the universe. You're no longer managing money, you're co-creating with it. Flow replaces fear. The result is a new rhythm of spiritual prosperity, where opportunities feel inevitable and wealth becomes an expression of who you are, not what you chase. And as you complete these 15 days, understand this: your timeline has permanently shifted. You're no longer waiting for abundance, you're living it. Each breath, thought, and choice reinforces your new reality, but the real journey begins when you choose to sustain it. And in the next phase, we'll open the gateway to integrating this wealth frequency into every area of your life, so prosperity becomes your nature, not your pursuit. Now that you've seen how energy, not effort, shapes your financial reality, the question isn't if you can change, it's when you'll start. You've learned that every financial plateau hides a pattern, every delay hides a vibration, and every breakthrough begins with alignment. The moment you shift your frequency, the universe rearranges to meet you halfway. That's not poetry, that's physics. Your quantum shift income starts when awareness turns into embodiment, but knowledge without action fades fast. So, what will you do differently today? Will you observe your subconscious money blocks instead of ignoring them? Will you anchor gratitude even when fear knocks? Or will you fall back into the old rhythm of effort and exhaustion? Remember, manifesting abundance isn't about force, it's about consistency. Every small choice either strengthens or weakens your wealth energy alignment. The power is in repetition, not perfection. Think of this as your invitation to experiment. Spend the next 24 hours acting as if prosperity were already your normal. Speak, breathe, and move from that identity. You'll feel the subtle shift. Your posture changes, your emotions lighten, and the field begins to respond. That's spiritual finance at work, translating energy into experience. When your vibration stabilizes in gratitude, energy frequency money starts flowing with ease. So ask yourself, what would the abundant version of you do next? What conversations would they have? What fears would they stop feeding? This reflection alone begins a new money mindset shift. And once you embody that version long enough, the quantum field will have no choice but to reflect it back to you, through opportunities, synchronicities, and tangible results. If this message resonated, remember, you're not just learning theory, you're rewriting your energetic signature. Every time you revisit these concepts, your abundance vibration gets stronger, your field more coherent, your spiritual prosperity more stable. You're not chasing wealth anymore, you're becoming the frequency of it. So, here's your next step. Apply what you've learned, share your insights in the comments, and tell me, what's the first financial pattern you're ready to break? I'd love to hear it. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and keep exploring how quantum manifestation can transform every corner of your reality. because this journey isn't ending, it's only beginning.